Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this news video. I am the Ninjaneer, and I have stirred myself from my food-induced coma to bring you guys the news for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. The topics we are covering today are as follows. Aptera tweet. Honda announced more spec-free stuff. CTNS visits Aptera and starts U.S. operations, rather. Aptera is going to CES. Governor Newsom to revive state EV tax credits in California. Solar paint? Possibly cool, probably not. Aptera Crowdfunding is back. Aptera's November update, and things that I liked. Let's get started. So please pardon the look of my current Twitter page. For some reason I cannot log back in. I'm going to figure that out later. But anyway, Aptera put out a tweet that says one gas-powered sedan uses more energy than 10 Aptera vehicles, yet the average number of people in a car is 1.5. Efficiency matters. Of course, I looked through all the stats and stuff, and this is pretty accurate. Essentially, people are using way more energy than they need to get around, and they are doing so in gigantic, inefficient vehicles. So, you know, it's a thing. I'll put a couple of links down below if you are interested in checking out the veracity of this claim, but I thought it was just interesting to see the numbers put out this way. Yeah, it's wacky. You could literally drive 10 Apteras and still be as efficient as the standard gas car. So, all right, Honda announces new sleek electric motorcycles with incredible features. Here's what makes them stand out. That is the title of this article. It is a cool looking little motorcycle here. One thing that I noticed about this motorcycle that was less than awesome was that the concepts that they announced have a cruising range of about 62 miles. Which is worse than a lot of the other electric motorcycles out there. I mean, it's okay, but it's more like a city commuter sort of situation than an actual, you know, long range road tripping monster of a vehicle. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, essentially, a lot of the other things that they could have put out, they didn't, like the size of the battery and all sorts of fun stuff like that. I looked through the Honda website as well, and I could not find anything specific on these vehicles, but they are shooting for efficiency, and they are shooting for practicality for in-city driving for that first one up here, and then their longer range one is going to be this one, I do believe. I might have got those flipped, so I apologize in advance if I did. I'll probably put an editor's note or something if I got that wrong. Anyway. Alright, so Aptera did put out some information on their LinkedIn page that I found out about through Aptera Owners Club. I did not see those links until way after because, yeah, my computer is acting weird right now. I got logged out of some stuff that I wanted to be logged into. I don't know what they were doing, if there was an update or something that messed with things. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, I had to log into my LinkedIn again and start looking through it because I missed a story from Junmo Kim, who I follow, basically saying that they've come into the States in order to start putting their battery facility together and all that kind of fun stuff. So I missed it, and I feel so bad, so now I gotta get back in there. But anyway, yeah, Aptera Owners Club does a great job of going through what happened and what is happening with CTNS when it comes to battery production and things of that nature. Aptera is attending CES. I originally found out about this through Drive the Lightning, and I checked it out, and as you can see, they are going to be at CES, and I am also going to be at CES, or so I plan, to take advantage of the ability to see the production intent vehicle for the first time. I can hardly wait. I'm going to get all the pictures. I plan on getting a lot of detailed pictures of the internals and externals and stuff like that, close-ups if I can. It's gonna be pretty fun. I am super stoked about it. So it's going to be a few months. January is when this is actually happening. So November, December, January. We're almost through November, so December, January. So we got like a little over a month and some change before we actually get to see the PI vehicle fully put together, fully developed, fully amazing. I can hardly wait. Yeah, so, oh, by the way, for those of you who were in the know about the situation, I had a really tough time putting together my registration for CES, but I have that figured out. I have the confirmation and all that kind of jazz, so, oh, I am so excited. Can't wait. Cannot wait. I am just, whoa! That is an actual emotion. That is the scientific description of that emotion. Whoa! That's where I am right now. All right, so Free Power put out a video about Governor Newsom putting new statewide incentives for electric vehicles into place. So he's basically matching what could be removed by the federal government in the state. He's trying to put $7,500 worth of tax credit to the vehicles that are bought in California that have a what he calls a ZEV, zero emission vehicle status. So if your vehicle is zero emissions, then it is actually then you get the tax credit, but it's actually a little bit more constrained than what the government has for tax credits and stuff like that, with respect to drivetrains and things like that, because there's some pieces of the federal tax credit that can go to hybrid vehicles and things like that. So long story short, this is for zero emission vehicles only, so electric vehicles, battery electric vehicles. I think he mentioned hydrogen vehicles. There's an article right here that talks about all the stuff that is included with this whole situation, and I'm going to link that underneath this story as well in the description. Mercedes is making a solar absorbing paint, so like basically solar panels in paint form that he's going to put on it, that they're going to put on their vehicles. Yeah, the technology sounds really cool, and it is also very familiar sounding because it is not the first time that a car company has said, hey, we're going to put solar paint on our stuff. It is not the first time, and I'm sure it will not be the last. I just hope that Mercedes is actually successful with this endeavor, instead of it being more or less slept on for 7 or 8 years again. I know it wasn't Mercedes that first came out with this idea, but they have revised and tried to do their own spin on this thing. I'm hoping that it works out. I really am. But if history is any indicator, I do not expect this to see the light of day. Pun intended. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. I hope Mercedes is, able to make this happen, because if a solar paint is a thing and we get that solar paint on an Aptera, or if Aptera figures out their own solar paint or what have you, it'll be neat, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know if solar paint will be something that Aptera would actually go for, honestly, because a paint shop is extremely expensive and difficult to put together, and I assume much more so for a solar powered paint that will have a lot more nuances to get it right. So yeah, here's hoping, but I don't know about this one. Aptera's investment website is finally back up and ready to go. When you click on the invest button, you see here that the $1,000 plus situation and the $25,000 plus situation, that one is the one that I want to go for, but I do not have that kind of money on me, nor will I in anywhere near a decent time frame. But yeah, basically it's a 21% discount if you have 25K plus to invest. Yeah, so basically it's back to that $10.50 if you invest 25K, but if you do not have 25K to throw into Aptera, you have the option to do $1,000 plus for $14.80. So effectively that means that if you bought shares at $10.50, then you could theoretically sell them or give them to somebody else for $14.80 a share instead of the $10.50. The logistics for that are very complicated and very nuanced, quite frankly, so I would not suggest it, but it is possible, theoretically, to sell your $10.50 shares or even cheaper shares that you got for $14.80 at this point. They are not publicly traded. It has to be like a person-to-person deal, agreement, what have you, and like I said, there's a lot of logistics there. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, there it is. Now, Aptera's November update did come out, and it does talk about many of the things that I've talked about in this video. The update itself showed count them, three PI vehicles in the works right this moment. So I would say that just this picture by itself is enough for me to justify watching the entire thing, because yeah, like I said, some of this news was already known, some of this news came out before this video did, but boy oh boy does it look good to see this many PI vehicles in the background of this particular frame. The entire update did talk about a bunch of interesting things that we didn't talk about in my video, so go ahead and check that out. Like I said, links are down below, but yeah, they're going to CES and all sorts of fun stuff. They're going to CES, they're showing up close and personal pieces of the vehicle. I'm going to go through and pick apart the things that I see and see if there's anything interesting to talk about. Yeah, I'm almost positive that there will be, but yeah, a whole bunch of interesting little things that I want to look at and look through, and pictures of close-ups, and yeah, I'm gonna look at this video very closely and see if there's some stuff that I can glean from the components and how they're putting together the vehicle to see, you know, how that goes. So, as you all know, the Trump man got back into the White House. He has also stated very publicly that he is going to eliminate EV tax credits. I was not sure what to think about this particular situation. I was not for or against it necessarily. Yeah, long story short, I was just I hadn't put a lot of thought into it. Telo did a video about this situation and basically made the case that this potentially is a good thing for Aptera, depending on a couple of factors, but chiefly because this will automatically increase the prices of vehicles that are electric up to $7,500, and now that Tesla Model 3 that was knocking on Aptera's door with the tax credit is no longer doing so. Yeah, it's an interesting thought process and an interesting take on it, and I do agree with the drive of what he is saying here. I am also a little bit, what do you call it, a little bit anxious and or divided on how I feel about this situation, because the thought process for removing the EV tax credit was, at least in Elon's mind, to also remove the credits and subsidies given to oil companies. I have said before, and I'll say it again, I do not believe that oil subsidies are going anywhere, but I do believe that those EV tax credits are going somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that I am not correct in that assumption and everything will go as it was intended to go, or at least thought to go by Elon's estimation. But yeah, them oil subsidies probably ain't going nowhere. Anyway, the second thing that I liked today, I don't think I said it for the first one, but the first thing that I liked was Telo's EV on Trump's tax credit removal and how it will affect Aptera. The second video that I'm talking about in the things that I like section is a video by Ben Sullins, who has decided to do a debunk of this gentleman who was talking about how EVs cannot save the planet, or renewables can't save the planet. I thought that the video was very insightful, as Ben tends to be, so check that out when you get the chance. It was pretty awesome. The third thing that I liked today was a video by Drive the Lightning. They did like a review of an EV charger, and I thought it was a very good review. It was very thorough, very in-depth. They've been testing this product for some time, and you got a lot of insights from it. I'm brainstorming which charger to put into my garage, because I do plan on having an Aptera and potentially a Tesla or a Rivian. Ideally a Telo truck, but we'll see how that goes. My ideal garage will have more than just Aptera in it, so therefore my EV will not necessarily charge itself, and I'm going to be getting a charger. I believe that if time continues to move along like it is, that this charger may be the charger that I end up getting. The last thing that I liked today was a video from MCJ. They are doing a video series called Inevitable, which is a podcast series actually, so there's no actual video feed here. But essentially what they did was they interviewed Telo's CEO and got his inputs about the truck world and why it is set up the way that it is, and he gave a very in-depth tutorial, in-depth history rather, of the truck market and why it is the way it is. And as far as I can tell, everything that he said was completely accurate. He also talked about why Telo exists and why Telo is a compelling company. I have always thought that Telo was an interesting company, and I have said many times, and I'll say it again, that if there was a truck that I needed to get, like if I were to ever go out and say I want a truck, it's going to be a Telo. Point blank period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, no question about it. Yeah, very good interview, worth the time that I spent, the 45 minutes and 24 seconds that I spent watching it. Very good. I would say check it out. It's fun times. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. That will be the end of this video. I am the Ninjineer. Hope to see you guys at CES. Hope to talk to a lot of accelerators and things like that. So yeah, good times there. If you like this video, do the YouTubey things. I'm gonna go and, since it's around lunchtime, get me some Thanksgiving leftovers, and I'll talk to you guys next time. And I'm assuming much more so for a paint shop that is literally geared towards oh no, please. Oh my goodness, you're telling me that we need an advertisement 30 seconds into the video? Is this how you are? Is this who you are, YouTube? Is this what we are doing now? Just several unskippable commercials after a few seconds of, okay, there we go. Oh, 1 minute and 2 seconds, by the way, is when they threw that first commercial in there. Oh. All right, anywho.